of God, everyone is welcome with open arms, even robots. Like it or loathe it, ChatGPT is part of society and now part of the congregation. As Germany's churches experience a drop in numbers of pastors, this church in the Bavarian town of Fürth has the answer by using artificial intelligence. During service, this avatar preached to more than 300 people for Mass. But can we really commune with robots?
I was pleasantly surprised at how well it worked. But one thing I definitely missed, of course, was simply emotionality.
It was exciting, interesting, but for me it was too monotonous. The avatar spoke too quickly. Sometimes you couldn't really think in your head during the service. It wasn't personal enough.
So, in this church, worshippers are no longer inspired by the words of a preacher. And while some may say this is sacrilegious, the theologian behind it insists this is the future of worship.
I would say 98% comes from the machine, generally speaking. And what we're going to see is an effort of us as human beings staying out of the church service.
The 40-minute service saw the bot writing the sermon, prayers, and even accompanying music. Intrigued and filled with anticipation, churchgoers queued for an hour to get front pew seats and find out just how it works.
I told the artificial intelligence, we are at the church congress, you are a preacher. And the motto is, now is the time. What would a church service look like? And then it spits out a rough framework first. And then you say, okay, now why don't you do this introduction? And then she writes this introduction. And that goes on and on. You end up with a pretty solid church service, I would say.
Whether you're a believer or not, the use of AI arguably brings services into the 21st century, allowing them to become more accessible and inclusive. But there's certainly no doubt it takes practice what you preach to a whole new level.
Bringing artificial intelligence into the church. This past weekend, an Austin pastor used an AI chatbot to put together his Sunday service. He spoke with KVU's Darren Shaharan about his experiment and how his congregation felt about it.
Sunday service at Valley Crown City Church was focused on how to discern the truth in a world filled with misinformation. And to answer that, Pastor Jay Cooper used a tool unseen in the Bible.
The order of worship today was generated by ChatGPT, which is an AI-powered large language model, chatbot.
Yes, ChatGPT wrote the entire church service for Cooper and his team. Some of it was funny.
Good morning / afternoon / evening, everyone, and welcome to Church Name.
And it was interesting to hear what it had to say about itself.
We must not let AI lead us astray from our ethical and moral compass, grounded in faith.
According to Cooper, it wasn't completely wrong.
And it even said, like, if we lose our human connection, then we've lost truth. So I thought that was really powerful and beautiful. However, it was dry.
And what garnered the most reaction from this experiment, the song created by the chatbot.
As algorithms spin webs of lies, we lift our gaze to the endless skies.
The longer the service went on, and I could sort of feel people's reactions and kind of get the vibe of the room, I did start having the nagging feeling like, am I disrespecting Sunday morning in some way?
Cooper says it was an experiment weeks in the making.
If we had 100 or so people, probably 20 or 30 were visitors, first time. And I would just be fascinated to know, why did they come?
Because when some people online got a whiff of what he was doing,
the response was from, "That's of the devil. There's no Holy Spirit involved in that. You're not a real church."
He says for the most part, the congregation had good and constructive feedback.
That was the biggest feedback from the congregation. Like, we miss personal examples. We miss you sharing from the heart.
So the truth Cooper found? ChatGPT isn't ready to take his job.
Bless you. Bitte wählen Sie eine Sprache. Please choose a language.
Hi and welcome. It's nice to meet you. Would you like to be blessed by a female or a male voice?
Which blessing do you need? The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Go forth in the peace of God. Would you like to print out your blessing?
Got it.
And now I can glue it here on.
Great.
Thank you for your visit and goodbye.